Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. Today it's finally time to harvest this cabbage right here, and I'm going to try and give you a short tour of some of the things that are happening in the garden right now. And as you can see right here, we've got some garlic that's ready to pick too. But there's our awesome cabbage looking great. It's been a really hot day here today, so I've had to wait till the evening time to kind of show you around the garden. You can see things are doing pretty nicely. Got some garlic right here. I was pretty late to plant garlic this year. I think I planted somewhere in February, and I'll leave links in the description to my videos that are related to this so you can see the planting of some of the things I'm showing you today. Got a little tomato there. I planted some eggplants here. This area is kind of randomly planted. I have most of my garlic and whatnot going on here, so any extra plants that I had I kind of threw into this section here. As you can see, I have this basically DIY cloche on some of my plants because there's always something trying to take nibbles out of my plants here. Now these are just little trash bins that I got from Dollar Tree, so they work perfectly to protect your young seedlings that are still getting established. Over here in the back I have some gourd plants already going. This is bitter gourd. We have them starting to climb this trellis that I've made. Once they reach about this height, which is approximately 2 feet or so, I pinch off the tips of the plant, and as you can see, it branched out from there. It adds more leaves, it adds more flowers, and we're getting some flowers already, but these are male flowers only, which is what it produces first generally. And then as it keeps growing, you'll start seeing the female flowers, and you just wait for pollination or you hand pollinate at that point. But you know, it's super exciting to see all these things take off. It's been a very busy time in the garden for the last couple of months with all the seedling care and everything. So once you get things kind of settled and planted in, you can kind of sit back and enjoy the garden a little bit more. And I still have this netted area here to cover and protect all of my leafy greens. You see there's a lettuce right there. I actually bought that lettuce. It's living lettuce that you can buy from the grocery store. I kind of got it acclimated it to the outside and then put it in a pot, and there's like a piece of drip tubing in there to water it as well. Just lots of leafy greens, and if you've seen my recent short, these leafy greens have been producing at least close to a year. They're just non-stop. This is a green magic broccoli that I planted, part of my winter sowing project that I did earlier on. And this broccoli, I'm still letting it go to seed. It's taking its sweet time, but these are the seed pods, and I'm just waiting for these to dry up so I can collect the seeds because I really enjoyed this variety and it did really well in my garden. Now behind the netting here, you can see 2 vines crawling up, and those are snake gourd vines. You can see right there. And eventually they're going to take over this entire arch over here. I have a couple more bitter gourd plants crawling up this makeshift trellis that we made. Plants themselves are looking absolutely amazing. Now I think we literally had 1 day of rain here since I last filmed, and our poor desert plants here, they're so desperate for it that as soon as it rains they fluff up and they get green and luscious, and I feel like they grow about 2 feet tall just from 1 good rain. Now this year in these beds here I went ahead and planted my peppers, as you can see. Over here is one of the hollyhocks that I planted. This one's a little behind all the others. This one's second to last, but it is in its 2nd year. I planted it from seed, and look. It's just been so exciting to kind of see what comes out of these hollyhocks because I planted them from random seeds and I had no idea if they would take. I had no idea what color or variety they were. But I am so happy and I think they look absolutely stunning. And it's still so hot here, you guys, but I'm kind of excited that I came out here at this time because speaking of hollyhocks, I just wanted to make sure that you could take a good look at these absolute beauties behind me. All started from seed 2 years ago. This is their 2nd year, obviously, and it has been absolutely worth the wait. And I'm so lucky to have 3 different colors of hollyhocks, and there's some in the front that I moved over there too. Definitely going to be seeding hollyhocks moving forward. They do very well in this climate apparently. Obviously I'm obsessed. But anyways, we've got some other good color going on in the garden right now. The roses are still in bloom. They start getting kind of fried up at this point with this hot weather. I've got a lovely patch of evening primrose here that comes back every year. This side here we've got some potatoes that I planted earlier on this in season. I've been doing my best to hill up everything, but looks like I think we're getting close to harvest time because some of the stems aren't looking that great. This is some corn that I planted the other day, well, a while ago as seeds. I swear it feels like they grew a foot or two since we had that one day of rain. These are pepper seedlings that I started this year. Doing absolutely amazing, really loving it. This is the perfect place to plant hot peppers. And then these 3 in front that are a little bit bigger, well 4 actually, this one, that one, this one, and the one in the back. They're actually peppers that I overwintered. And they're doing really well. As you can see, this one's already producing, way ahead of the game, beating all the other ones so far. And so you guys, as you look behind me in this raised bed here, you might be asking, Sam, why do you have all these colanders here? We have to use certain forms of protection, barrier protection here in the garden, to deal with things like flea beetles, squirrels, aphids, cabbage moths, you name it. So this is the best type of protection, and all you need is just a regular old kitchen colander or those trash bins that I talked to you about that you can find at Dollar Tree. You can find these things in the dollar store, but this is one of my loofah gourds. Now, it was just a little itty bitty seedling when I planted it in, and that's why I've been keeping it covered with this, just because these plants are really special to me and I don't have a lot of them. And they take a little bit of care to start, but once they start, it's going to flourish and it's going to cover this entire trellis. If you've seen any of my older videos, you'll see that it's really hard to even walk through here mid to late summer. But these plants are doing really well. Not only do they produce edible fruit, they can make scrubs, they attract pollinators, and just look at the plant itself. It's beautiful. It's almost like an ivy. So underneath the other colanders and trash bins here, I have more eggplants. There's my beautiful hollyhocks again. And then on this side, if you've seen my other video, it feels like just the other day I planted up these tiny tomato seedlings and they're already racing. Just look at that. This one's even flowering. Now I'm planning on another video, you guys, to kind of show you how I'm going to tie up these tomatoes this year. This is kind of a new process for me. Usually I'll just put a stake in and tie them up, but I've got some other plans for this, and I plan to show you guys that very soon because it's almost getting that time. These tomatoes are getting pretty large and they're going to need some support pretty soon. But there's your tomato alley right there. This whole section has been dedicated to tomatoes. And this year, the garden's a little bit more organized. A lot of times I just kind of let it go and just throw things in places and let it be wild. Another trellis idea for tomatoes, you guys, is this right here, which I've done. And this is basically 2 large tomato cages attached together, and you can see how high they get. So I'm not actually planning a lot of pruning with this. It's just going to kind of grow within this cage. This area, you guys, is going to get so lush and packed with greenery. So take it in while you can, because it's going to look a lot different very soon. I've got another one of those obelisks that I created here with the 2 tomato cages. My soda cup seedling cabbages are doing excellent here, you guys. Just look at them. There's going to be so much cabbage here. And then I have a couple gourds here that I'm going to give away pretty soon. So I'm just temporarily housing them in here to protect them. And of course, you see the netting fabric. For me, this is an absolute must with any of my greens that are really susceptible to pest damage. And it's been working excellently. There's still so much more to show you guys, but the video gets a little bit long, so we're gonna go ahead and, speaking of cabbages, go pick those cabbages and garlic right now. But on the way there, I do want you to meet our new garden friend here. Mr. Owl over here has been helping us keep a lot of the garden pests away, and I think he's off right now. He's charged via solar panel back here. but usually he'll move his head and he can even make some screeching noises if you want it to. The things we have to do to protect our plants from pests, right? I've literally had to pull out all the stops. Alright guys, let's go harvest some cabbage. You guys have no idea how excited I am to harvest this cabbage with you guys today. As you know, I planted a line of cabbages here and only 2 survived. The other one's still gonna need maybe a week or so before it's ready to harvest. But this thing has made it through the entire winter and everything. I think I planted it last fall. So the fact that it's here, it's ready, it's giving me something that I can harvest. Little bug damage just on the outside, which I took care of in an earlier video. But just super excited. There's so many good things happening in the garden right now. There's a couple bad things that happen too, but I think the good things always outweigh the bad here. Cabbage is ready. Obviously you can see the head that's already formed. And then I go ahead and push around. If you feel that it's mostly firm and nice and tight, it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and cut it here at the base, and then I'll show you guys. Guys, look at this gigantic plant. I'm just trying to get it in the frame so that you can get some perspective. Sorry about some of the background noise today. It seems like everybody's out and about and planes are flying, but just take a look at this gigantic beauty. It's like a big green rose. So one of the biggest reasons I'm so proud of growing this here in the desert is these are kind of challenging to grow here. You know, they like cooler temperatures. They like, you know, they don't like these sudden spikes in our weather changes that we always have here. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get the garlic now, and then we'll take it from there. Alright guys, and you know that these garlic are ready because all the leaves are yellow, they've been crisping up. And again guys, I'm not banking on gigantic bulbs or anything like that, just because I was very late to plant these in the ground, so who knows? Okay, not too shabby, I'd say. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the rest of them, and then I'll show you at the end. Not too shabby, I would say, guys. What do you think? Look at all this garlic. Definitely not bad for being probably one of the last gardeners to put these in his garden. So this is absolutely epic for me. You know, with this and then this right here, I'm pretty happy. Anyways guys, this turned out to be kind of a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had a lot of fun making it for you guys. Just want you guys to know, if I'm able to do all this here in this desert garden with all of our harsh climates and all the challenges we face with not only weather, but watering, pests, and things like that, and still get this out of the garden and all the other things that I showed you, you guys definitely can do it too. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you liked the video, please press the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with all the other things that are going to be happening this entire fun gardening season. But thanks for sticking it out with me and watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.